Yeah.
Is this Mike's report for tonight?
Yeah, you can
Really?
read it, or I
Chair,
can
your
read
meeting
it.
is going when you're ready.
I'll let you read it.
Okay, or when we get there.
Okay, because I was gonna suggest that we take off.
Yeah, it's like 100 degrees.
Sarah, is anyone here from Sarah? Is she gonna come?
If I'm willing to get fully wet now.
I don't know where she's going.
Well, she works in town. Well, first, maybe we should move the bylaws down anyway. Let everybody get rid of their stuff.
We're not gonna do it. Sorry. Where's this? Hanging out.
So maybe we move the bylaws down.
We'll make a
to-
motion to move it down.
This is a
Move
regular.
it down to,
I am.
let's do it down to number 8.
Everything's ready when you
Okay.
want.
Gonna call the meeting to order. We're at the Red Lodge Parks, Trees and Recreation Board meeting for Wednesday, November 5th. Have a call to order and roll call.
Roger Mullendorf,
I'm here.
Mary Dell. Here. Beth Graham here, Rod Fordall,
Here.
Sarah Thorson,
Not here yet.
Ann Rude. Yes. Luke Russell.
Here.
Okay. So we're under the citizens' comments and matters within the board's jurisdiction. Again, you have a 3-minute maximum time. Any comments from the audience?
Yes. So just quickly, my name's Tom Kuntz, and I am one of the folks who's involved in the pilot tourism grants. There's several other folks here, there's multiple folks here who are also involved in that project, as well as the ice rink. I think if you remember, in April I came and I spoke with you about that grant and plans to improve the ice rink, as well as potential plans for improvements at Coal Miner Park, including a sledding hill and snowmaking. And primarily I'm here to invite you and hope that you will attend a public meeting on the 19th where that grant will be discussed. And then also to ask if we could be on your agenda at your next meeting, so that we could make a presentation that would be the results of that public meeting, and to kind of just outline what the plans and the visions would be.
Sure.
November 19th,
November 19th.
5:30 PM
Roosevelt.
at the Roosevelt Center.
Right.
Yeah.
Still my 3 minutes. No,
Well, you have another
You
couple.
can have another.
I'm just making fun, sorry. I think really that's the bulk of what we wanted to say, so, we're not on your agenda, so, but we wanted to make sure you guys were informed, and that we're kind of at the crux of where we'll begin to move forward to make a plan. Up to now, we just have really an idea. It's been an idea for a long time, but we haven't had a plan. So the hope is to, after this 19th meeting, to build the plan, and we would like things to move forward pretty quickly. The grant amount the total grant amount that will bring is $2.5 million. So it's a significant grant. Not all of that would be kind of in the parks and trails piece of it. There's other portions of it, but the grant is generally designed to improve our community for the people who live here, as well as the folks who are coming to visit.
Okay, very good. Any other comments from the public? All right. Seeing none.
Oh, wait, what?
One more.
Oh,
in the back.
sorry.
Hope Smith, I just want to throw this out. I think what the grant sounds great, the plan sounds good, but I am very concerned about giving up any green space in town. Once it's gone, and we cannot ever reclaim that. And I know I'd like to see consideration of maybe the parking area up there, the sledding and all of that, to put in this skating rink, a permanent skating rink. Green is green, and we don't have very much in town. So that's what I'd like to.
Well, I would encourage you to attend the meeting. and Voice your
I'd like to be
concerns.
on town on the 19th, but.
Okay.
shoot.
All right. Okay, any other public concerns? Okay, seeing none, we're going to move on to our action items. First item is to approve the consent agenda in the minute meetings of October 1st, 2025. And before we get to that, I'd just like to I'd like to make a couple comments.
Oh, there's been,
Yeah, I'd like to make a recommendation that we move, item number 2, the bylaws, down to item number 8, so that we can address the concerns of some of the people who are here, and they don't have to sit through our discussions about bylaws,
I make a motion.
okay? Do we have a second? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, motion passes. And, just one little thing, jumping to get on a soapbox for a minute. I hope everybody, is taking time to read the minutes that Beth really labors over. I think she does an excellent job of producing those minutes, and, you know, we don't want to hurt her feelings by ignoring them completely.
I
But
don't
she
feel
does a great
ignored.
job, and I think she needs to be appreciated for the efforts there. It's not easy. I've been a secretary before, and it's kind of time consuming.
Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Beth.
Oh, God.
With that,
We wouldn't be here without you.
I just turned down the heater so that noise
Thank
will
you.
go away, but the feedback from online is
warm.
that they're having a hard time hearing folks. So hopefully that will help, but if everybody will also speak up, that will also help.
okay. All right, so we have a motion to move the agenda item, 3, or 2 down to 8. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda as presented and amended, as well as the minutes?
So moved.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, we'll move on.
Who seconded?
Oh, who seconded that? Rod?
Yeah, we
Okay.
share.
Okay, all right. So first up, and then we have the approval of the pump track signage. Nick and Lou?
There it is, yeah.
Sitting in my garage for a while.
That's basically what went out to the group a month or so ago.
Yeah. Nick, maybe for the people who may be watching this on Zoom, you want to just read over the pump track rules?
Yeah, where's the camera at?
It's right up there.
Yeah, it has the Coal Miners, it says Coal Miners Park Pump Track. It's got a City of Red Lodge logo, a Beartooth Trails logo. It says rules. The track is for bicycle use only. Ride at your own risk. Do not ride when the track is wet. Do not walk/climb/play on the track. Helmets and protective gear recommended for all riders. Ride within your limits. Start small and work your way up. Please respect others' space. Don't ride too close. Keep the track clean and pick up litter. Have fun. And then a little blurb at the bottom. This pump track was built by Beartooth Trails in partnership with the City of Red Lodge with support from Heartland Ranch and the Red Lodge Area Community Foundation. To get involved and support our work, visit beartoothtrails.org with a QR code.
Nick, who's Heartland Ranch?
Harlan Ranch is near Boyd, and they supplied all the big equipment except for the skid steer. But they brought down, Dean Shenander owns that, and he brought down a dirt separator, both mechanical and just a analog one, and they're pretty critical to the whole process, and it was, took a lot
Okay.
of work on their part to shuttle those things around for us. So he also loaned us, mechanical tampers, jumping jacks, anything we needed. And we've actually gone out a couple more times since then and borrowed more of his stuff. He's kind of got
Awesome.
gears are ready. Yeah, so we figured we'd give him a shout out.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's it. It's too bad Mike's not here tonight. Can everybody see it? Okay. Yeah, just the idea is, we just need something that says, hey, here's the pump track, here's the basic idea, so we can keep it in good shape.
Is that ready for us to install? Is that what you're saying with Mike
It's
here?
ready to go.
We'll
got
take it.
posts too and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can work with Mike, or we can, however we want to do it. Wish he was here tonight, we can,
We're glad he's
Yeah.
not feeling well.
It's
Yeah.
done.
Done. It is what it is, man.
Okay.
It's,
The
Luke,
graphic artist in me has got some issues, but it's fine, I love it, it's great.
It's the surface of that
I do
sign.
have a question about ride at your own risk. Is the city, does that cover us for accidents, just that phrase?
I'm going to go with, I noticed that matches what we had at the skate park, and I know that went through the attorney and everything as well.
All it says is ride at your own risk, or skate at your own risk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, we didn't this wasn't 100% just, we just looked at other ones that had been done in other tracks.
Okay.
And this is the general
kind of what most folks are doing at pump tracks that have been there for a while, for bike parks in general, so.
Well, and he did give us this sign last month. We did see it.
Yeah.
Not the sign made, but we got the design.
I concur.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
we've had a chance to review it prior to the meeting.
Yeah,
Luke, is the surface of the sign, is it somewhat, vandal resistant?
yeah, oh, I mean, I don't know,
Can you pass it around?
yeah.
So, my recommendation is that you place it so that north-south wind, I mean, when there is wind up there, it's gonna come north-south, so you're not facing due south, because then you're gonna take the brunt of breeze up there.
And the light too.
Yeah,
So I'd have it face to the west,
Mhm.
if you can.
Yeah, which would be great, because that's the main direction folks will be approaching the track from.
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Any other comments from the board?
Staff position, I have 2 action items. First is we're just gonna have the city attorney look at it, make sure he's good with it. And then second, I'm gonna have Mike install it, and he's gonna take wind direction into account.
Okay,
And then questions, reach out to you guys.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm sure he'll put it, just needs to be, you know, front and center as you approach track, you essentially have to go around it.
Mayor, item is, listed as approval. Should we have a
We can-
approval subject to the,
Nope.
to the,
However,
city attorney?
however you want, I would say just approve it, and if you're allowed to have somebody approve it and somebody else not.
Okay, do we have a motion for approval?
So moved.
So moved. Second?
Second?
Yep. You get that?
Yep.
Rod and Sarah? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's approved. Thank you.
Yay, Becky, good luck.
Good job.
Have fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have, park projects update. Mike isn't able to attend today, but he did forward,
And I have it up on the screen behind you.
Oh, good.
To summarize or go
Good.
through that.
Roger asked me to read through it really quickly. I think it'll take just a couple minutes.
Okay.
Current parks activities, Willie has been mulching leaves in the parks. All the tree watering bags have been removed for the winter. Pool and baseball bathrooms have been winterized. Last month, they rerouted a water main near Moose Trails in order to cap 2 water mains that run through Lions Park and under the proposed new ice skating rink area. During the process, some of the Lions Park was disturbed. The areas have since been graded and seeded. Work will continue in spring to improve the turf. Fall, winter, public works, parks priorities, Pride Park work through final design details, develop work schedule, and secure contractors with goal to complete work spring 2026. That's to update the benches and the concrete work there and everything. Coal Miners Park, continue efforts to raise the elevation of the circle near Yellowstone Sanctuary with goal to improve drainage. We hope to secure screening equipment which will allow us to utilize the materials stockpiled on site. Eventually, efforts will include grading the entire parking area to facilitate drainage to the storm drain on the south end. Once final grade of circle is complete, we plan to install a sprinkler system and topsoil. Tom Coley spelled a little differently. With Carbon County have offered the coal car currently in front of the old nursing home. We hope to move it up to the circle. I think that's where the city would like to see it. It would be seen more there, right? Yeah. Progress on these endeavors will be weather dependent and will continue in 2026. Noxious weeds. Over the winter, Public Works will work with Carbon County Weed District to implement a city parks weed program. Van Dyke Park, Public Works will be installing a 20-foot gate at the opening in the fence near the Northwest Energy right-of-way. So he did reach out to them and at least initiate that. So,
And then the second part that you had on there, Roger, that wasn't covered is Rocky Fork. Hopefully everybody's had a chance to see the building is officially gone. They're still working on getting some dirt in there. When they did their calculations about bringing 142 loads of dirt, they used the 1923 LiDAR and laid it on top of the 2019 LiDAR, and they forgot to account for the fact that there was a building with a basement in the middle of it. So there's still a low spot there that we are working on to bring the dirt up basically to the same grade that it was before. When that's done, it includes topsoil and it includes seeding it this year. However, in the what's next category, there's still a bank stabilization that needs to happen there, so imagine what happened down at Ninth and Cooper. We need to do that up at that location next year. Hopefully at that time frame, as that gets done, we will then have a better feel for whether, when we talk about what, and again, we're very restricted on what we can do with that as far as a park space goes. You know, we're not gonna put in tables and stuff. But hopefully we will have a better idea. Are we talking about just the Rocky Fork site, or are we also talking about the Eagles Nest site, which would basically give us green space from all the way from Rotary Park all the way down to Finn. And so conversations are still ongoing there. At least plans A, B, and C. We've got several different variations and permutations there, including, like, do we privately acquire the house, starts with M, somebody help me. Yes.
Campbell.
McKay, thank you. Because then there's a possibility we could end up having some public restrooms down there available versus if it's acquired with FEMA money, that will not be an option. So like I said, the Rocky Fork, we already know it's not an option, but hopefully we'll have a better idea of what adjoining properties we're also able to take on.
That house, is that the small kind of gray house?
It's a blue house.
It's blue?
Right there, you'll notice it.
Yeah.
Even probably more so now maybe than you did before, with the big green one gone.
Yeah.
So.
Good. I was gonna ask you about the depression that was left there, if it was gonna have some fill brought in there.
We were all depressed a little bit, but we'll bring some fill in and then it'll be done.
In the newspaper article, they interviewed the guy supervising it from DEQ, I think it was. He kind of, seemed to, mention that DEQ would help with the planning, the final planning of the site, is that correct?
It's actually, yes, through Beartooth RC&D.
Okay.
So it's actually through the Brownsfield program that they can help do some stuff with that. But they sign off on it, basically.
Okay.
So. And
that's part of the grant, that's covered under the
yeah,
grant.
that's some of the coverage. That's actually a separate part to build it up beyond, but getting it back to basically a planted and seeded field with the bank reconstruction is all part of the current program.
Okay.
And quite frankly, even if that's all it ever gets to, we're a step in the right direction.
We're better off even at that.
Yeah, we're better there.
Yep, very good. Any questions about the two reports from the board?
I was wondering, the water lines underneath lines, were they part of a fire loop, or why was there water lines through lines as part
Do you
of?
want me to explain that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so so originally that space was originally built as an ice rink. It's been an ice rink since it was originally, designed, and you can kind of see, this is really small, but you can kind of see it in here. So there was a fire hydrant that was put in to be able to fill the ice rink, and that fire hydrant line went through the middle of the park and then connected down here. So in the process of having to redo water lines in here.
Because they're cast iron lines and we're getting rid of them.
Yeah, and they're trying to get rid of them, and because we didn't want to put an ice rink on top of a water line, they abandoned that line, but it connected right back in here. So the only thing we lost was the hydrant that was used to fill the rink, in anticipation that we wouldn't need that, and then there's a hydrant right across the street. So there was no reduction in fire protection and hydrant spacing, but they were able to abandon that entire line.
So to add your additional, yes, everything is done in loops as part of that. And what happened is, as we were looking through and prioritizing cast iron lines while we had folks out here and just picking them, I said, let's do that one at the beginning of this process. And then, of course, the other side of that is we had them come out and stake all the lines, and they came out and marked all 4 of the fiber lines that were there, except there were 5. So,
Whoops, yeah, two big whoops. Okay,
Thanks.
all right. Any other questions or concerns about the two reports?
One other comment on Van Dyke Park. Is Northwest Energy scheduled to do any regrading? I mean, the wheel ruts in there are super deep.
I think that's a good question
Yeah.
for when Mike returns, because
Yeah,
we asked him to talk to them about that,
yeah,
and he didn't mention it, but maybe he can.
yeah, I didn't know, maybe Dave had heard something.
Okay,
I know when they said there that they said there's always gonna be a road in there, but that doesn't mean that it's
has to be rutted.
walk in the dark and break the
Yeah,
leg.
Yeah,
Really
Yeah.
rutted.
yep, good question. Okay, we'll move on to park projects we did that. Tennis court project updates, and Barb, would you like to kick that off? And I should mention draft MOU too as well,
Yeah.
that's part of that.
Where should I stand?
What do you-
See you, Nick.
Up there in the
yeah,
front?
right closer to the front because
Here,
Mike's
park
still
your
here.
stuff right here, and
All
then,
right,
put everything here.
okay. Okay, do you guys have copies, Barb Beck, for the record? Do you have copies of our brochure?
we did.
Take
Yes,
one.
you got it already?
I don't,
I have a couple.
You have some.
I've forgotten.
I got one last time.
Yeah.
I'll take another one.
how did I have it? Thanks. How fancy like that.
Yeah.
So you guys asked us to do several things for you, with you.
Mhm.
One was attend the meeting, so there's three of us here tonight, and another one was coming but couldn't, so these are three members of our board, I think maybe you know, Kelly Reynolds and Lindsay Hoffman, also two of the coaches for the high school team. You asked us to draft a memorandum of understanding that we could execute with the council, with your eyes looking at it.
Mhm.
And you asked us to do the geotechnical investigation, and you asked us to coordinate with other users at Coal Miners Park. So after our last board meeting, we assigned ourselves each of those other groups to go visit with. And Lindsay talked with the soccer people and also Beartooth Trails. Kelly talked to baseball folks. I called Tom, and they were already getting started on a meeting. And so we went to that meeting and visited with them, and who am I forgetting? Soccer,
Adult baseball,
baseball?
like adult league.
Oh, softball?
Softball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
they've been contacted, but they weren't at the meeting.
yeah, okay. So, we ended up with letters of support from soccer and the Trails Association. And so we felt good about that. But, so I think, as you know, the only, continuing discussions we need to have are with the disc golf folks. Kind of how that turned out.
Okay.
Yeah. I have, just to pass around, letters of support that we've received for a grant application, just to give you an idea of kind of the breadth of folks we've been talking to. We just got the geotechnical report today. I forwarded to, Mayor, I did not send you a copy. I forwarded to Maples and Roger, and I can send you a copy.
And Mike is sick today. That's
Yeah.
why he's not here tonight.
But he'll have it on his computer. So I don't know if you want us to say anything about that, or just,
I would love for you to say something about it.
It just came in today.
Yeah, we just got it.
Literally came in at like 1 o'clock.
So-
There's no synopsis, but.
I can
Well,
summarize it.
yeah,
Like,
Kelly, if you wanna
Yeah.
just talk about it quickly.
more or less noted how many feet in the different areas. You notice that there's a 10-foot gradient between the bottom and the top of the slope. They talked about where groundwater was. There were a few areas where the groundwater was higher than, it's like 5 feet under the surface. Other areas it was more like 15. That'd be something to, before construction, I'm sure our engineer and everything will figure out where that map is, so that, but the design was given as 3 different options, depending on how much of that slag wants to be excavated, and the top one was to excavate it all, whether that's the best way, and that's a lot of earth to move, so we've got people that, we've looked into as far as the earthwork and engineers to start to bid on our project, and so we'll probably have we'll have those 3 ways that the geologist, the geotechnical report advised to go, which was piers, or a certain way to do the concrete underneath of it that doesn't require piers, or just excavate it all and do more gravel. So depending on the cost of materials and the budget and the bids, that all 3 of those ways are acceptable, especially since our court won't be a heavy, weight-bearing surface, so they can be, but it's buildable, and we have great recommendations that the engineers can go on, so.
Piers-
And he has more information. The report that we got is not all of the information. It doesn't have the
Right.
map, it doesn't have, but they say in there, obviously, that they can report more, and when they would recommend being there to test the compaction and what compaction levels, what kind of gravel, all the stuff, so, good report.
So that,
It's
that's
doable.
available to anybody, and here's I printed a hard copy,
Of the-
you wanna have a look?
Is
What
it-
just came
Is
in?
it kind of safe to say on the report, because I just kind of read through it right before we got here. It talks about the slag being anywhere from about 5 to about 15 feet thick. And of course, that would, like you said, that would be a lot to remove all of that. The other two options are probably not as good. I mean, that's probably the best option, remove it all out and bring other fill in.
I would argue with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking, what's 30 minutes?
Well, I'm not an engineer.
Right,
But-
so piers are pretty common in Red Lodge, and they've been used for all of Island at Rock Creek, all the houses going in, the condos. It's pretty common, they add a construction cost, but they're not, cost prohibitive
Yeah.
on a $750,000 project.
And the
And-
geologist did note, based on the weight that this structure is gonna be
Right.
holding, it wouldn't be the typical size, depth, width of a helical pier that would be really expensive. They
Sure.
are expensive, but they may be much cheaper than excavating all of that material.
Right.
Depending on what we get donated and what we don't get donated, but we
Yeah.
will get some of that donated.
And
Well,
plus
then-
you have the disposal of the
Right, then you have a
Yeah.
waste product that has to go somewhere in
Yeah.
town, and
Right.
that's not easy to find, because
Yeah.
it was moved there for a reason.
Yep.
And I don't think in any of the funding and stuff you've looked at, has looked at using MSEP money or funds either, and they may be able to come in and help.
Or the abandoned coal project,
Yeah, that's,
Oh,
yeah.
sure.
the
that's-
mine project, which,
Okay.
But I guess the question I have is, do you feel that the concerns that the engineer brought forward, there's not really any kind of a deal killer there? I mean, it's all manageable.
Yeah,
It's gonna add to the cost of the project
yeah,
somewhat,
it
for
depends on
sure,
the cost
but,
of whether the city would have somewhere to put the soil, how far you have to truck it, all of those
Well,
factors.
having had the report for only a couple hours.
Yeah, I know.
We'd like to answer your question that we don't think it's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
And so we need to, we need to go back and forth on the cost.
I can't finish it here. Is there a way for the board members to get a copy of that too?
I can
I
email
can-
it to all of you guys.
Oh,
Bruce
okay.
Rogers,
Yeah, I
Glenn,
can-
I
I
can
can
fill
forward
it
that
out.
to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I would love to read it.
I'll
Yeah.
do that. I'll see
Yep.
tonight.
Take a look.
I think, Mike should visit with your engineer too, Mayor, maybe on
Good
it.
idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I did send him a copy of this, but
Yeah.
he hasn't.
I mean, we just wanna make sure we're doing it right.
Totally.
We don't
Yeah.
want 5 years from now, people going, whose idea was that?
So the
You know,
U.S. Tenants
Got
Association
it.
requires engineering documents and specifications too before they'll
Yeah,
fund. So, I mean, there's lots of checks and balances
good.
involved in this. Not just us in this room who aren't all engineers, yeah. So, okay, so that report has been done. We have talked with other engineers about the role they play and the role of the people that construct the courts and how to get everything covered, from a site design standpoint to monitoring the construction, to grading plans, to all those pieces. And so there are engineering firms that have done tennis courts, and so we've identified a couple of them. So when we get to the point where we're needing that expertise, it's out there. So,
Because probably the geotech didn't look at stormwater contribution, which
They
that
mentioned
would
it in
have.
there. They said,
They
yeah.
did mention it, but.
Okay.
yeah, not too big of a deal,
Pretty
but
minimal.
yeah, they mentioned how important it would be to manage
Mhm.
Right.
that, yep. So let's see, I think that is kind of the things you've asked us to come back with to you about, except now the MOU. So, we ended up drafting this like right after your last meeting, because that was the time to start moving on it, apparently. And so we took the soccer group's MOU with the city, and the mayor looked at a draft that Lindsay and I produced based on that MOU. And in the meantime, it has gone to the land use committee, and they're very interested in your input, if there is some, on this. And the council knows that this is coming their way, and actually, the action that they would like to take is the council wants to pass a resolution authorizing the mayor to sign this MOU with us as the other party, and also to authorize us to submit the Land and Water Conservation Grant application. So that was the direction of the council, if I'm correct, Mayor. Okay. And so, we're bringing this to you with the hope that if you have edits, we'd like to know about those and get them incorporated. And then, of course, the attorney will need to look at it as well. And I think the council is intending to have a vote on it next, what day are we?
Yeah.
Next week,
I think,
a week
yeah.
from now.
yeah.
So that's kind of where this is. So, hopefully, since I think you got it ahead of time, you've had a chance to look and identify if you've had any concerns. Yeah, Ann's at the council table too, so she's hearing all that discussion. So,
So the one thing that jumped out at me, is that you agreed to provide necessary funding as necessary for long-term O&M, and I think you might want to be careful about that, especially because it's kind of like this triangle of management, it seems, because you have the high school in there, and you
Right.
have your committee that's building it and developing it, and then it sounded like the high school would have the MOU with the city
yes.
for that care, and so I guess, I just want to be careful about that, because that is a big chunk. I mean, that could be perpetual. And, I think that's something that the city needs to weigh while they think about the MOU, like, something we did with soccer, which was to take on a responsibility for 4 or 5 years to get it going, take care of it, have some costs, and then kind of ease into a cooperation.
Mhm.
And so maybe that's something that you might want to do too, or have the high school consider that, because I think that it is city park space, it's an amenity that's city-owned,
Right.
and that there would, I hope, be a cooperative funding. And I'll bring this up like when Tom talks, I mean, the opportunity to help out with that and find grants and so forth, that's always gonna be something that we would encourage.
Yeah.
The city would too, but not to have that language is kind of strong and
Yeah.
it pins it on you, and
It is strong, and we were purposeful about that, just
Okay.
because, the city's budget was under scrutiny and tight, and also the school board was coming out with requests for, additional mills for various needs. And so when we started this, we said we really think we can take the funding burden, but does it say in perpetuity?
No,
No.
in fact,
Okay.
in fact, I
No.
can read it.
Well,
I
I'm gonna
have it
die
up
at
here.
this
We can revisit that, because this is just
Yeah.
the development
Yeah.
MOU
Right.
anyway. This is just at
Yeah.
some future point there'll be
Yeah.
one. So I made
Yeah.
a note of that, and
Yeah, and I think
Yeah,
there's
so
It
maybe
just
that,
said,
maybe we
for
could look at
long-term,
language.
that tennis board would agree to provide necessary funding for
Yeah,
long-term
you wanna
O&M.
stay in existence to continue to financially support.
yeah,
So that
Cool.
was on purpose, but,
I think we all like to hear that,
yeah,
but,
we better look. I
okay.
guess we should look. but-
it's a really good point, and I think the point the mayor made is the critical point too, that this is really an MOU for the development of the project.
Yeah, so why
We'll
would we even
follow
need to say that in
We'll
there?
probably follow up with a
Right.
programming and in operation
Where
MOU.
is that
in
one,
this
Bev?
state.
That's,
Is that
that's
something that,
4 bullets down in section 3.
It
I
says-
just,
It says the tennis board agrees to provide ongoing coordination of the project with the city through the public works director and parks and recreation and tree board during the design and development phase? Is that what you're talking about?
no,
no,
No?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so duly noted, and awesome that you're trying to fundraise to
yeah,
give it a good jump start and take care of that.
Yeah.
yeah,
And as you get into probably you would have a phased MOU in this project, so design and development and then an O&M. And
Yeah.
so we would
Right.
just wanna
right,
be clear about that.
right.
Good comments.
And then you don't have the ability right now to add a figure that shows the proposed layout, or that might change?
That may change.
Yeah.
So we have a concept plan, but we don't have a site design.
Okay,
So the engineers will prepare the site design when we,
Mhm.
when we hire them, when we get enough assurance that we feel like we're gonna be able to go on that site.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that leading into that, that was just the only other bullet I might have added on your end for tennis.
Yeah,
Tennis will work with the city to, reduce or alleviate any engineering concerns that come up as part of the project. That those all have to be addressed. Right?
okay.
yeah.
Is that clear? Okay.
But I thought it looked good.
Yeah, I do too. Any other comments from the board?
I did want to make one other quick, point. So I talked to Red Lodge Tree Service about the trees that are out there that, you know, that people planted and were concerned about. Were you talking about
We were
that?
just talking about.
Oh, okay. So I called them because I was putting together a budget for this grant. I wanted to know, how, you know, how do we treat those? And he said, I said, you know, what would the cost be to take those out and relocate them? And he said, you know, he would worry that they would not survive. And he said it would be better to purchase new trees, the equivalent of those, and or whatever else in addition, and put those in.
Yeah.
He said that way you'd be assured that they would survive. So my thought was, maybe we pull them out of there and offer them to the community. And then we go ahead and replace them on the new site.
They
And
weren't
also we're
super
looking into.
expensive and we volunteer
Yeah.
install, planted them.
Well, I'm just saying, we checked with a tree person, and he said he didn't know if they would survive, if they were moved.
I think maybe, for the purposes of the MOU at this point, maybe if we had, remove and or replace the trees. And then we can figure out the mechanics of how that's gonna go.
Does that need to go in here?
Well, it's in the.
You already
MOU.
have something
okay.
about it.
You already have it in there.
We'll just
Oh, okay.
say remove or replace,
Mhm.
I think.
Move or replace, because remove is it's the relocate or replace.
Yeah,
But
Yeah, not all of them will probably need to be.
there's 17 trees out there, and I like to say what necessary trees, not all the trees, because there's some beautiful spruces on the west side that I would love to work very hard to, they seem really established there.
Oh, like the ones that have been there
Yeah,
for a long,
yeah,
long time, yeah.
But I don't think we just need to obliterate the 17 trees, we save what we can,
Yeah.
and just make some notation that some trees are necessary trees or whatever.
Yeah.
That's just how I think about trees.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You were
so-
thinking more about the ones that had just been put in there within the last year or
yeah,
two.
Yeah.
You're not,
Kind of in
you're
the
not
middle.
talking about
So,
the native.
We're not talking
What if
about
we
the
were
big
to recommend a bullet about work with the board on tree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Addressing the trees.
We don't have to define it.
Right,
Right.
So we
right.
really
Well,
don't
the other
know
thing is,
the footprint or whatever.
there's a big cottonwood cluster clump out there, and, the wildlife biologist, when we did environmental reviews, said that's valuable bird habitat in there, could that be saved? And I said, I don't know, but when we go to put the courts on the ground, on paper, that we'll look at what we can do for that. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a couple configurations we can have on that piece of land, so it's just a matter of what.
We don't know until we have the engineers really,
right.
Right.
yeah, because it gets a little bit narrower as you
Yep.
go.
I think maybe if you incorporate the word feasible, feasibility or
Okay.
whatever is
Okay.
feasible.
Yeah, we
kind
definitely,
of
we
have
definitely
that.
care about that. And the other thing is, DNRC has a grant for pollinator gardens. And so we're gonna check into whether we could put a pollinator garden on the north end of the property, where I could go and sit after I get creamed on the cord and.
So you want to attract all the bees to the sweaty people in shorts?
Yeah, yeah. And then we'll.
Well, no, that'll come with the molasses that's
Yeah,
going on the pump
exactly.
track.
Yeah, that's right. They'll all
The native
go up
bees
there
won't
anyway.
care.
Perfect.
So, I mean, we are sensitive that it's green space now, and maybe these are a couple things that we can do.
So I would like to add, because you mentioned that we asked of you, and I think it's going to be part of all future, development ideas that come forward for park space, is that the proposer meets with other groups, and so we can kind of summarize, because I was at that meeting, Luke was at that meeting, where Tom Cooley and Melissa from Disc Golf asked everyone to come together, and so tennis was there, John Fitzgerald from the high school was there, soccer was there, we had the parks ambassadors for coal miners, and I mean, it was very productive. I'm sure that Tom felt like, oh, we're having to make another presentation, but that's just such a great, whether you do it one-on-one like you guys did, or you have a sit-down like that, it just is an opportunity for everybody to hash out like, oh, well, wait a minute, we were thinking this, and, I think we left there with everything resolved. So for those of you who weren't there, I don't think there's a stickler to bring forward that the Parks Board has to mediate. Those two user groups have a little overlap. There could be a little bit of overlap with disc golf and where soccer chooses to put a storage shed up on top. And they're all talking, and we'll work that out with Maples and, so I think, the resolution was great.
I think it's good that Ann's here to hear that, but I would say it would be a good idea, to have some of that there for council, so council can hear that firsthand, rather than having to have it be relayed on too. So that meeting and also the engineer's report, I think, are both two things
Like
that
a set
if
of
you could be
minutes from that
available.
meeting, would you advise, or somebody there to talk about?
Pardon?
A set of minutes from that coal miners meeting?
I think that
or
the
something
little,
verbal?
the little verbal you did tonight on the geotech
Yeah.
for this level of the stage, I think would be wonderful and appropriate. And I think the summary of that meeting there would be whoever you designate to do that. I said Ann's here, so she can share that. I can certainly share it, but it's much better than, hey,
What
Dave
meeting,
said, or-
what meeting, what's the next meeting?
Tuesday council meeting is what I'm talking about at 6 o'clock.
So would it be helpful for me as a Parks Board rep to say that we attended and to quickly summarize from all points of view that it went well?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay, good.
I'm not here to make assignments, but I'm just saying, I think that would be
Tuesday,
helpful information.
I can be there.
Okay, good.
Lindsay, do you wanna reiterate what you heard
Yeah,
for
about
changes
the,
to this? No, for changes to this,
oh, yeah.
that she was taking notes.
Okay, good.
Let's see. We want to make sure that our O and M is financially set, and reworded. Want to adjust that language so we're not, just the draft for the build process. And then the other one that I have is to relocate and or replace any feasible or necessary trees.
Work with Parks and Tree Board
Mhm.
on that, yeah.
There's 17 trees there in the park. In the cluster. Okay, yeah.
Is that it? Those
Well,
two
there's
things?
17 new trees, there's a lot of other trees.
There's 17 new trees on
there's
kind of that
17 new?
hillside.
I thought there were
No, I don't,
I
And,
think I
Yeah.
counted this, when I said 17, I was counting the nice spruce trees.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
there's 13 of the new trees,
Yeah,
I think, that's what I counted, yeah.
and there's other streets down there. Is that Cooper, the street down below?
Yes,
There's new trees down there too that are
Yes.
planted that may not be,
that's part of the 13.
yeah, they may not be a problem. I think there's 17 on the hillside, if I
Okay.
remember right. Anyhow, it doesn't mean, it doesn't
We'll
matter.
come back with more thoughts on that.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. No, I don't have anything else, Roger.
okay,
so Lindsay, that first bullet,
Yeah,
in section 3, the tennis board will provide you a technical study of the proposed, period. I would just make another sentence there and say that the tennis committee, agrees to work through all engineering concerns with the city and
And
address
it could be
them,
Maples, maybe.
right.
depending on-
Sure.
Yeah,
yeah,
okay,
that would be appropriate.
okay.
Luke, did you have a
Is that
comment?
fair?
Yeah,
Okay.
what was the ask for a timeline for this, for us to take a look at what we just talked about?
At the MOU,
Yeah, and then have it ready for the council?
right away,
Yeah, in fact,
Tonight.
for the council to vote on it next Tuesday,
Okay.
so we can submit
Oh.
the
We
grant.
have to decide tonight?
yeah, so the question, I guess, for the
Yeah.
board would be, do you feel comfortable approving the MOU with the insertion and inclusion of some of the items that we brought up tonight, to amend it?
Yes.
Luke, if you want more time, now's the time to say it, 'cause
No, I don't, I mean, I trust you guys, it's gonna, reflect what we talked about, and I understand there's somewhat of a time crunch, so you can move forward. But I was happy with the way it was, but I hadn't thought about some of the things we just talked about, so I think as long as those are captured, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I think it's just a planning MOU,
Yeah,
basically, to start with, and
This was
Develop-
to
to get-
define and
to
development.
get the thing
Yeah.
moving forward, I think we should go ahead and get things.
So do we have a motion?
Yeah,
You make a motion
a motion
to approve it?
to approve it.
Okay, do we have a second? A motion.
Thorson and Rude.
Seconded by Rude.
Oh,
Get it done.
All those in favor say aye.
So so I want to reflect. So we're recommending that this MOU go forward to the city
Mhm.
for their consideration,
Yep.
okay?
With the amendments that we just discussed.
Right.
Okay.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Thank you, Barb.
Well,
It will really help our project move forward, so, and how to continue to raise funds, so thank you very
Okay.
much.
Yeah, thank you.
all right, and Barbie, you shouldn't really sit down because you're up again. We're gonna talk
She is?
about the letter
Oh.
of, recommendation from,
Okay,
The board.
I don't have a lot to say about this. It's a letter like the ones I passed around, and actually I didn't show you to, or Luke, but,
Well, we got a copy, right?
yeah, it's,
Okay.
it's been
Okay.
sent to
these are
everybody.
all the other ones from the chamber of the hospital. So it's just, a piece of the grant application for land and water conservation. It's a $150,000 grant that they've said basically is ours, once we get all the rest of this information in, and it requires the resolution from the council, so it's kind of been waiting until we make sure that they're comfortable with moving ahead, and that means you guys in the land committee are comfortable moving ahead. So
I make a
anyway, the letter
motion.
says we support
Well,
this grant application, that's basically what it says, we the Parks Board. So
Well,
we're
you can
asking
discuss it.
to
I'm gonna
sign a
move.
letter of support.
Yeah, and that's pretty simple. We did have a couple conversations. Basically, Barb wrote the letter, and then she sent it to me, and I made some edits, and then, of course, I lost my edits, and
And my computer
and
crashed.
her computer crashed, so I kind of rewrote it and sent it to her, but we do have, we really do have kind of one clunky sentence in there that I can kind of clean up, that says, our board members and members of our board have been working with the Red Lodge Tennis Group for almost a year to find appropriate location, blah, blah, blah. It's a little clunky, and I think what I'll do is I'll just say our board has been working with the, tennis, board. And then one other real minor detail is the title of our board. It's-
Oh, yeah,
I have it
sorry,
listed
I
as,
see that.
well, no, I
You're,
think
you're complicated.
it got by me
You
too.
are.
We're officially, according to our bylaws, we're the City of Red Lodge Parks Tree and Recreation Board, and not the Parks Recreation Tree Board, but I'll
Okay.
clean that up as soon as soon.
With those two edits, I make a motion to approve this letter.
Okay, all those in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Oh, second,
I don't know, do you have to have a second?
yeah, we need a second.
I
Second by Sarah.
Thorson, Rude, second.
Oh, my
Okay.
Did you see it, Luke? Did you
I
see
did,
it?
yeah, it looked
Okay, all right.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, it's approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barb.
Good job, guys.
Good job, yeah.
All right, we are up to the disc golf updates, draft MOU from Tom Coley.
And if anybody wants to revisit, it's curling up and it doesn't want to stay flat, but this is the proposal that came around at the meeting. I don't know what to do with it. Set it. It's not gonna work, but
You want me to hold one end of it and you hold the other?
Mayor's gonna model it for us.
Dana.
There we go.
There you go.
See it.
Dana.
Vanna Westwood, going a different side up, this side?
there,
There you go. What's up?
that's,
That's the right side.
Perfect. It's perfect.
what do you think? You get a model here.
He's a fat guy, he can hold out both sides.
It's a living display.
You just let it, no, you could just like let it curl around your
Yeah.
torso and turn.
Okay, so Tom Coley, representing Red Lodge Disc Golf, along with me is Melissa Griffith online, who's also a board member of the organization. Just want to give you an update, we're making progress towards our, expansion of the Red Lodge Disc Golf, course facility at Coal Miners Park. And, again, we've been kind of given that laundry list from the Park Board to complete before moving forward. So, first off, we did, host a meeting of all the user groups in the Coal Miners Park area. And I thought the dialogue was, just as Beth summed it up, it was very productive. You know, the only point of contention going into the meeting was this hole number 9, which is the location of the proposed tennis courts. And, you know, I think what we've done is we've agreed to work with tennis to accommodate a hole in that vicinity, just working around whatever development they choose on. And we understand that the site plan is not finalized, and that we'll work with them. We want to continue with a hole in that location, to get, you know, to keep our flow throughout the whole course. But in talking about the additional holes, no one seemed to have any concerns, real concerns. It's kind of filling in gaps where there's not a lot of use in the park, trying to take advantage of some of those void spaces. And so I don't think there was any other concerns raised about the proposed new hole, if that's correctly summarized.
Yeah, and I think that it's also fair, they're suggesting to leave that hole as it is until ground breaks.
Yeah.
Why change it until they know what you're doing? And I think that's reasonable,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
and I think it is.
So, again, good meeting, good dialogue, and I think we satisfied that box for part two. The secondary thing that we've been asked, similar to the tennis group, is to draft an MOU and present it to you. We again use kind of a similar template to tennis. We used the 2 previous ones done by soccer and Lindsay's MOU, and we kind of merged that all together, and I think we have probably a very comparable MOU to put forward. We emailed that to Beth late last night, so I understand that maybe some of you did not have a chance to review that. But we welcome your comments, any additions, or we took some of the legalese out of it, and we can surely put it back in, but we were trying to keep it as simple as possible. But we hope to work with you here in the near future to finalize this and then move forward with a similar path that tennis is taking just to get that.
I have some feedback.
Yeah.
In the future, if you could make sure they're rotated so people can read it on electronic devices, because it came out landscape. And when you rotate your dice to read it, it flips again, and so it basically requires printing a hard copy to get to it.
Yeah, I did that.
Because they included the map with the landscape.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. We'll take that into consideration. But yeah, I think we're on track to follow, kind of in the footsteps of the tennis process. Got agreement with user groups, created the MOU, go forward. We've already talked to land use, committee earlier in the year about the project. I don't think much has changed since that time. So I hope we can go direct to council with your endorsement, to expand the facility.
So I did have a few comments. I mean, I could email them out to the board, and then we could try to get an email back to you ASAP. One of the things that I thought right off the bat is that in the introduction, that it was needed for a purpose of improving, maintaining, and managing. I think we should say expand in there too, because you are more than improving. I think you've been working on improving it, that we're expanding it. So that's minor. There's just a few questions, and it's nothing, but
Beth,
I'm happy to.
If you want to,
Yep.
if you want to email me or just highlight the changes, I'm completely flexible. Like, we were working pretty quick to try to get something put together. So I agree on the expansion. Comment, I was trying to figure out how to phrase that. So we can add those things in very easily.
Okay, yeah, these are minor, but I just want to, mark them up, float them by these guys, and then we'll get them to you, like, in a couple days, I think.
That'd be great.
Okay. Ricky, do you want to cover them now? Or do you want to just send them out?
No, because I mean, literally, I just looked at it, and
Okay.
so, in fairness, I just want to have everybody else kind of look at it too.
You okay
For
with that,
anybody
Tom?
that didn't look at it yet, if you could read through it, because then these things will make more sense when you do. Or,
When are we gonna have a quorum and vote on this? Next meeting? Or are we gonna rush again for this?
Oh, there's a good question.
I know.
well,
I don't mind it, I just wanna know what we're working with.
Is there any reason that it can't be done at the next meeting?
I think it totally could be done the next meeting.
I don't think there's any problem with having it done by the next meeting.
Yeah.
I think
Our
you're asking
meeting
should it be.
or-
No, for you guys, because like I said, it needs to, you guys only meet once a month.
Right.
I just don't know if there's a time constraint like tenants have, like we have to have this done by next Tuesday for the council, or could we have time to read it, Tom? And vote on it next meeting, and we can just, now, next meeting we'll have more
Fix it.
discussion, so we'll know what's in it.
We're not under the same time.
Okay.
They have this
Right,
grant,
that's
and that's
what-
why they're trying to get, yeah.
We'd like to see movement on it, of course.
I just wanna
And I
know
would,
what.
But we could
you
get
know
our
what would make sense to me
recommendations
is that you, as a Parks Board, look at these MOUs that are being presented to you and draft a template that has the exact language you want in, and then let the other future groups come in and add to that. But that's just, take your time.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
Yeah.
do it right.
Parks
and-
Board doesn't get hit up with requests to change parks like has happened this year. I mean, the soccer one was 6 years ago, and, I think they're so different that tailoring it, but that's fine. I mean, I think we're light years.
Just have a lot of user groups out there that probably fall under that same need for an MOU.
We'll definitely put it on the
Yeah,
next
but
Yeah.
it's your call.
agenda.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we can educate on it by then, we can talk about it, and hopefully get a vote by the
Plenty of
next
time.
meeting.
I suggest that, I did this last year with,
Right, well, they haven't done the
you guys.
expansion yet.
I walked the 18 holes with you and got to see what you're doing, and I'd like to do it again. But I was just, other board members do the same thing, is walk the course to see, make this real. And it'd be nice to do it for it snows. So, you wanna think of the time?
Well, we also mentioned that.
Brought it into
So
meeting.
I would like to point out, because there is something that we weren't aware of that has been happening up there.
Somebody wants to go back and move to it.
So it's typical procedure to have the ability to move a hole, to lighten up the use of an area, give the course a little bit of, flexibility and change, and Tom, described that at that meeting. So they're not necessarily set in stone, because then they have an alternative, right? How would you describe that? It's like a backup.
Yeah, you'll see that it looks like there's a lot of lines on the map, but each line represents a different flight path to a different target or basket. And we put in a position A and a position B for many of the holes that are out there right now and the planned future ones. And two concepts behind that. One, it offers a little variety of play for those that do the course. Like right now, it's actually a pretty easy course to play. Having a position B and tucking it around a tree or somewhere else a little farther changes up the course and gives us a little bit more variety in play. The other thing is you noticed up there is erosion taking place.
There's what?
Erosion.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
natural,
Yeah.
you know, and it's, once you hit that, coal slag layer, then things start to, stabilize a little bit. So giving areas, just a little bit of time to rest, putting out some wood chips, whatever it takes to minimize that was part of our rationale behind
Kind of
doing rotational.
Yeah,
Yep.
rotation, yeah.
So,
It's a good thought. Good plan.
so we moved forward with that concept, thinking that it was still in our kind of, our boundary per se. You'll notice that there's not many that are really that far apart, like 10A and 10B are literally like 20 feet. But other ones, maybe like Coleman one, that's another maybe 30, 40 feet. Again, so,
Right.
and real quickly, they're just, if you go up and look at it, all you're gonna see is a cap at level with the ground. So you pull the cap and there's the base that's sunk into the ground, so we can take the basket, move it in there, lock it into place.
Good.
Mow right over it, and shouldn't be any sort of.
Is there gonna be like a, what are you envisioning, like every year it gets rotated, or multiple times a year?
I don't really see, I mean,
Depends on how degraded it is.
perhaps
I
a
guess.
tournament, if we host a tournament up there.
Yeah.
You know, we might move it to the B position for a time period and then move it back. But it'll probably be
No
either,
real set schedule.
it'll probably be either course A or course B.
So the whole complex will shift over to B course.
Yes.
Okay.
So, Tom, I have a question. What happens to the potential for this winter hill on that slope coming down to the parking lot. Do you take baskets out? They stay for the winter?
Typically, they stay for the winter.
Okay, would it, I think it can be worked around, but do you see any issue that might impact what Beartooth Trails is thinking of for this
No, because
potential grant?
kids are already using that as a place on the winter, and it hasn't been a problem. So I think what Nick's envisioning would basically be in the current footprint of what's being currently used for the sledding portion. And then the Nordic part would be up in the soccer fields, but there's no baskets in that area.
So he's talking about like snowmaking though, and some sort of little, I mean, it's a bigger setup than just
I don't know.
what happens
You guys
now.
going to the meeting on the 19th? Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's kind of stuff that probably come up.
Okay.
Yeah,
But yeah, the
lighting and
the
discussion.
sledding hill is kind of in this little, pocket right here.
Yeah.
Which is, there we have no infrastructure
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
I think there's plenty of space there to work with all the users.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then the other thing, I mean, this coal car from getting moved, I think it's great, and you talked about maybe incorporating it into a whole. I liked Mike's idea about putting it in the center if possible, but you're the one that
We're
got
open
it.
to that. It's just, that is a feature that was sitting out in Cedarwood Villa, if you ever walk past there. There's a nice old coal car, historic in nature. And it just seems to fit, and I don't know what the county was gonna do with it, with demolition of the building. So I requested that on behalf of the city.
Okay with that?
We put it somewhere in Coal Miners Park.
I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome.
My only request is that we have it on the tracks. I don't like that when you come into town, the symbol of town is a cart that's off the tracks. That's.
The wrong
I don't know.
Yeah, so the circle, and the circle planning, like, you'll see that we would like to have a practice hole down in that area as
Yeah,
well.
Well,
wondered if
so there you
that-
go, there you
But
go.
perhaps we can work around that with, between the monuments, the flagpole, the coal car.
Just
Yeah.
adds to the.
But we know that's still undergoing some enhancements, right?
Well, I think it's all exciting.
Yeah, I do too.
Luke and I have a great park to
I like the
work
part
with.
where all the groups are coming together and coming up with a solution, and what you're doing is you're coming to council and saying, will you please rubber stamp this wonderful idea we put together, as opposed to, will you play referee and pick a winner and a loser in this conversation? So thank you all for making that work.
Well, that's also partly the best for outlining the process. You guys, I think you and Melissa worked on it, right?
She was
Correct.
on fire, she didn't get to,
Oh,
she was gone,
well, whoever put all the work in for that, thank you.
thank you.
'Cause it has that-
Well, we'll see what the land use committee spits out for formal
Well,
plan,
they're-
right?
like I said, they're looking at what you guys are doing and working out. The problem is, we didn't feel like we, you mentioned 3 big ones right now. We don't wanna put everything on hold while we figure out a system. We have to build this ship while we're floating it,
Yeah,
so.
we do.
Okay,
Okay, any other discussion? Any more
thanks,
comments?
I
Thank you,
think
Tom.
it's great.
What should we expect going to council? Are we gonna get barraged with a lot of questions that have already been asked through the various subcommittees and Parks Board? And I hope it's kind of a clean process, but I don't know.
I'm hoping that, and I guess if you show up Tuesday, you'll probably get a really good idea. But I'm hoping that what it'll be, and Anne's on council, she can speak to it more, but I think what the questions that I have heard is, has this gone to planning board? What was their input? What was their
Park
thought?
board, you mean?
Yes, let's go with that, or Parks Board, sorry.
It goes from us to planning, I mean, our land use.
Yeah, it goes through land
There's
use
another committee
to,
it goes to.
yeah. But that's basically just introducing it into council, but that's like, what is Parks said? And so, I haven't heard any brand new surprises in the other ones. that
I
come
don't
up.
think you have to make the presentation that you've made to us and the other night even. In my opinion, usually they hear that it came from us, and then they've got to look at the legality of it. So if we did our homework and gave the nod on the MOU the very first part of December, then you could get probably through the very next council meeting, and this will be ready to go in December.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, it'll go to land use for meeting without going to full council. Then it'll go to full council for
We've-
discussion, work session. And then, so it'll take 3 meetings once it gets to go there at the normal pace to do things.
Okay.
And there's
We
one
already
meeting
went
tonight.
through land use, actually, and they voted to approve what were, like, we went, it's been up several months ago, but we were with them and they did agree and put a motion forward to approve our expansion.
Okay, so that might cut it down to 2.
Right,
Yeah.
so I mean, it's the MOU being signed, but I wish we could do an email and say, here's our recommended edits, and get that to them before the next meeting. Can't we do that?
The packets go out Friday, so I'm still trying to get all the tennis stuff done.
No, but if it didn't happen but you have another meeting in 2 weeks, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if we got these guys still on an
Why are we
agenda in
hurrying all
November.
this stuff? We're in the middle of winter, plus we only have one city council meeting in, December. We've got 2 in November, 1 in December, and then we don't come back till January 14th. Not that I keep track of time off, but,
Okay,
so
what do you need to do this
we
winter,
start
Tom?
hurrying stuff.
Yep.
Okay,
And I heard Tom say it wasn't a rush. I mean, like,
Yeah.
let's not drag our feet,
Yeah, but no.
but we don't need to put
Let's not
JOs
get
on
too
this
hasty
thing.
about it too, yeah.
You guys are looking for shovel ready by spring, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Okay.
we should be good.
Which is.
Tom, when the
We're still
M,
working on
April.
our existing improvements to the
Yeah.
existing course. And yeah, we're not looking to do any enhancement, expansion.
Expansion.
Sure.
Full thing.
But
But
why
we'd
don't we,
like to
But
be in
there-
a place to do it next month, so
Sure.
any conversation needs to be had before then, right? So that what they're presenting to
we
us
need to
next
get the
month
information
is,
out prior to that
Right.
meeting, so that we're ready to approve.
I'm not saying it has to be done
Yeah.
at the end of this week, but to Beth's point, we have to get them something
Sure.
before the next meeting.
But there's 3 meetings. There's Tuesday, the next Tuesday, and then the first Tuesday in December.
She's
But
talking
I'm
about
talking
just
about
Parks
for
Board.
us.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're fine. I think we're fine. We're
Yeah, we can handle it
moving,
just like tennis.
they may not think we're moving at lightning, but I think we're good.
Okay,
So,
all right.
Melissa, did you have a comment?
No, I was just gonna say, I just want to clarify that what I hear is you're gonna get some adjustments back to us. We're going to work on getting the MOU in a place that you feel comfortable and we feel comfortable approving it at your December Parks Board meeting, at which point we will
Yep.
move forward with all of that in place towards the council. With that, your agreement and the fact that we already have agreement from the land use group at either the December meeting, if it works for the council, or the January 14th meeting. Either of those timeframes are fine, as long as I know that we need to plan to be at the next Parks Board meeting to actually get your agreement on our MOU final.
yep, perfect.
Okay.
Perfect, yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you, Tom.
Excellent.
Melissa.
Thank you.
Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor.
Good job.
Thanks, Tom.
All right, let's move on. Next agenda item is gonna be the final approval of the revision of the Parks, Recreation, and Tree Board bylaws. And, I think everybody should have received a copy of those. Does anybody have any comments? If everybody had a chance to review it, and does anybody have any comments regarding the bylaws?
Thought it looked pretty good.
Any comments at all?
Thank you, guys.
See you guys. See you later.
I have a couple
Are
comments.
you glutton for punishment?
I thought that.
Sarah,
Okay.
I have a couple comments that,
Well, it's not directed to me,
well, no, but
it's directed to the group, because these aren't my personal edits.
I
You
have,
don't have your machine here, is that correct?
I can, yeah,
Do you want to put it on and
I
go it
think
online
it'd
and
be
that way
great
you
if
can
you
make
could
edits?
crank it out, yeah.
If you want to get on and if you want to go to the website and join the meeting, I'll just make you a presenter and then you can share.
I'm not sure I can do that, but.
Have you ever connected to this network before here?
No.
No.
I don't know when Ann and I.
tell me you're ready to start our
I'm
discussion.
not sure when Ann and I met to talk about that. A long time ago.
Weeks or something.
Last
year.
Maybe just last, can't remember now. Yeah.
How long trying to find it.
Google Docs was formatting very weirdly. So that's when Sarah took it on, though I think I gave it to Danae. And she did the red lines.
Lines disappearing, weird.
On my phone, I didn't see them. On my iPad, they were there. Yeah.
Okay, so I have it pulled up on my screen, Mayor.
Okay, hold on, I gotta get you on the network first so that we can, everybody seeing it. And I got two different ways to do that. Hoping to push on this one, or I'll just turn my phone on to a hotspot and have you.
Oh, you know what, I am, so I must have on this computer,
okay.
sorry.
I
This is
thought
my
so.
work computer, so I didn't think
Yeah.
so.
Thank you.
Thank
Coming.
you.
All right, so I found it, but you're good, right?
Now you're back.
You're on?
Yep.
So go to the city website. When you get there, go to the bottom thing where it says like the latest news, it's a little arrow that points down.
Mm-hmm.
On the far left, you'll see join a meeting virtually. When you drop down, you will go into that and you will see the Parks Board down toward the bottom. When you join the meeting, make sure you choose no audio. Otherwise, it gets really loud and obnoxious.
Recording in progress.
Do you have no audio? No, you have audio.
No, I don't.
Don't you hear it?
Do you hear that something just changed?
Yeah, but I can tell you that my screen says no audio.
The fact that you have a mute button here, let me come help. May I?
I'm of no help.
Neither am I.
No. Yeah, that's not what we want to do is we want to go to here, and we want to say, rather than going leave computer audio. There you go.
I just learned as much as I need.
Okay,
You want a table so you can type more easily?
I wanted to get done.
Sarah?
Come on
No,
up.
thank you.
Okay.
I'm gonna bounce on a knee.
There we go.
How it worked and why it didn't
How was
work.
your,
Okay, hold on a second. What I'm gonna
how was
do
your flight to Singapore?
is I'm going to do this.
You go to Singapore?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I don't have.
Now just share your screen.
Read all your MOUs.
Oh,
And what I'm gonna do for the visibility of this group is I'm gonna go to just
Well,
full
you did
screen
well.
here, and I am monitoring online activity
You look good.
on a separate screen.
No more.
Is that good?
Can you go Command plus and make your screen bigger?
But I know nothing.
Command plus? Sarah, Command plus will make it bigger?
I did.
Okay.
You need it big more?
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Barb.
No, I was like hot. Now
You're an agenda item.
No, I'm out.
Oh, you're not gonna do that?
Is that good?
She's got nothing to report. We had already printed.
I could never, contact the public health.
All right, Roger, hit me,
Okay, want me to hit you?
or hit us all.
Okay, I'll
We
hit
all
you all,
got
but
agree.
it's not just
Yeah.
you.
Right.
Okay, I am looking at, I just had to pull mine up, I couldn't find it on the computer, but I found it. Let's see. Looking at, section 6, under ad hoc meetings.
Yeah.
I have, under A, says, let's see. I put down along with remote participation when possible. I'm trying to find where
So the first black,
I.
the regular
Under-
sentence,
Under A,
so you
yeah.
just want to add if possible after participation.
Right, and the reason I said that, using the example of the tour we used on, for the parks, or if we had an ad hoc meeting on site somewhere, remote participation may not be possible, or may be difficult. So that's fairly
Everyone good with
simple. Any questions with that? Then-
I think the red sentence, the one we added,
Uh-huh,
we created, it's a little weird at the end. The meeting notice or notification should include the nature of the proposed action or issue and contact information for more details or to submit suggestions. Does that sound okay?
It is a little awkward, isn't it?
Proposed action or
I think
issue.
it's just missing, so,
Make it 2 sentences, it'll be really easy.
or it's missing a comma. Should include the nature of the proposed action or issue,
Comma,
comma,
um,
and contact information for more details
Well, provide
to
information.
submit suggestions.
the nature of the proposed action, contact information, so no and. So
Yeah.
here,
Get rid of the.
contact information for more details, comma,
Or submit suggestions.
Well, I think it's saying
or,
the comma is contact information for more details about the meeting, or if you'd like to submit suggestions, is what that is trying to say.
Or to submit suggestions, yeah.
The meeting notice or
Okay.
notification should include the nature of the proposed action or issue. It should also include contact information for more details or to submit suggestions.
okay, so
And
how
then
about
that's why I
that?
said, if you make
Two
it 2
sentences.
sentences, you can do that.
All right, do that.
Mhm.
Okay, so how did you start that second one then?
It should also.
It should also,
It should
okay,
also.
include,
Contact information, and what if I say, it should also include contact information to submit suggestions or for more details
Yeah,
about the meeting?
perfect.
just flip them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have we
much
got
better.
that?
Yep, much better.
We go down to item E in the same section.
Wait, hang on.
We have in red for city council, that should be COUNCIL rather than SEL.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Okay, look at,
City council, council spelled wrong, it's like
Yep.
attorney.
it's like
On
attorney council.
I.L.
It should be
CIL.
CIL.
Okay. E, you said?
Yep. Okay.
COUNCIL.
Love the S.
You can type it while everybody's watching.
No pressure.
Then my, have you got that then?
Yeah.
Then on my I have a suggestion on item G. And I just wrote,
We don't have a G anymore.
no, it's F now, I guess. I wrote, ad hoc meetings are open to the public and thus should comply with Montana open meeting laws, just to make it a little more simple.
Everyone good?
Okay, as and is a very weird way to start that, so,
I think if
Yeah.
we do what Roger said, that just goes away.
Yeah, the ad hoc meetings are, and then you get rid of everything.
ad hoc
Ad hoc
meetings
meetings are open to the public
are,
and thus shall comply with Montana open meeting laws.
Just leave the thus out of it.
okay,
Okay, and then
Ad hoc meetings are open to the public and
shall comply.
it shall comply with Montana open meeting laws.
end of sentence and paragraph.
Yep.
Great.
And then under quorum, in section A, let's see what I have. Oh, okay, I just had,
So you have to start the next sentence somehow.
section A.
No, F, we're still, that's
I think
a little
every-
screwy.
You're proposing everything else is removed, Roger, correct?
Right,
That F only says ad hoc meetings are open to the public and shall comply with Montana open meeting law.
correct.
End of
Yep.
paragraph, end of sentence.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, and then under, section 8, I guess it's section 8 voting, where it says A unexcused, unless unexcused, that sentence starts that I have, unless excused from the meeting by the chair, as allowed in the paragraph before. In other words, instead of repeating all that, it refers to the paragraph above it.
So it's fine then. They get excused because they have they have partial, they're not impartial, so they refrain from, so they remove themselves.
Well, because they have a conflict of interest.
Right.
And they feel that they can't, vote impartially because of the conflict of interest.
Right.
So they're excused from participating or refrain from participating. And then the second portion of that under A says, unless excused from the meeting by the chair as allowed in A above, all
Right.
members must, just to make it a little simpler, I have, unless excused from the meeting by the chair as allowed in the above paragraph. And so it just refers back up to the paragraph that preceded that.
Can't we just say A above? Is allowed in A above? Oh, it's A again.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, in paragraph above. So you see that? Just put the word paragraph instead of as allowed in paragraph above, where you struck the A.
In the above paragraph.
Yeah,
Yeah, in the above paragraph.
okay.
Are you guys okay with the changes that we made, the green and red, in the paragraph above? Do we need to address that at all?
I don't have it in the green and red.
No, we made them all red. So they're red here.
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever, red
Yep.
or red and green, all that's still okay?
the refrain from participating
Okay.
further, yes.
Yep.
Okay, and then, I'm sorry, Roger, did you say something about the quorum section?
No,
Okay.
no. I did say, but I meant section on voting.
Okay.
So I'm okay.
Okay,
with
but what
quorum.
happened to?
Yeah.
Go back down there, we lost the whole paragraph.
Yeah.
So A, we just lost everything. Can you undo right where you are? There.
I think Roger was
Right
saying-
there.
We need that.
No, we still need that. So what you're doing is, all you're
Yeah,
doing is
just getting rid
saying,
of that.
as allowed in the above paragraph, comma, all members must, yeah, so there you're good.
Yep, got it.
Is that a comma or a period in a new sentence?
This is a comma, is that what you're asking
Well,
about?
I'm asking if it should be, I guess, is my,
I think
Unless
a comma is
excused,
fine.
yeah, seems to me.
Yeah, I think a comma works.
Unless you're excused, you have to vote.
Right. Okay. So all the changes I had, anybody else have any recommended changes or
No.
questions?
Do we get, yeah, we got them.
I make a motion to approve these bylaws as edited in this meeting.
I second.
Is that possible?
And get them posted
All
on the
those
city
in
website.
favor, did you get the second?
No, hang on. Bylaws, BG, Luke, Russell, 2. Okay.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, passes.
And we need to get them posted on the city website.
Sarah didn't say anything, I was just saying.
Sarah didn't say anything,
Yeah,
huh?
We keep working on it if you want.
No, but I actually don't approve them because there's a typo.
Oh, there
I
is a
just fixed
typo.
it.
I said with edits.
Yeah.
True.
Okay. All right, let's move on to Park Ambassador reporting. Ann?
I have nothing to report other than Willie has been super helpful with, helping clean up the park for winter. I was raking leaves away from the fence and he came and mowed. It's beautiful, it's all mulched, and I'm hoping the grass of the dog park will just be gorgeous next year because it's been mulched. The leaves have been mulched, and that's my report.
Good.
All is well.
All is well. Sarah, anything you'd like to report?
No, but I need to connect, I feel like I need to connect with hockey and just get caught up on where we're at with everything and I think, to our point, just collect all the MOUs.
Yeah.
Just touch base with user groups, because I really haven't done much, so.
So, Sarah, I think you missed, Tom was here, and he
Yeah.
mentioned, coming to the November 19 meeting at the Rosa, you heard that?
Yep, I just,
Okay.
because I'm the
Yes.
ambassador, so I just want to make sure I'm in the know. I may meet with a couple different people too, but just so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I think anybody that does hear, and I'm assuming that you would let Betsy Scanlon, no. I think people should be encouraged to go to that 19th meeting.
Mm-hmm.
She texted me and I texted her back and I think I told her about it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I
because
ran
that's-
into her and
I
talked to
think
her about
that's-
it, too.
the place to,
Learn.
really learn, ask questions,
Uh-huh.
argue.
Well, I think neighborhood has if they have a concern about the project, that's a good
Yeah.
point. That's a good time to
They
bring
live
it
across
up.
the street too,
Yeah.
the Smiths do.
Yeah,
And neighborhood and summer park users
yeah.
Yep.
should have some input.
Luke, do you have anything?
Let's see, the whole meeting was kind of about coal miners.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've asked the BTA to do a fresh MOU. I feel like this is the moment, we're doing them, and, they're like, we already have one. I'm like, I don't care, we're doing fresh MOUs, let's just do one.
That MOU stinks, that
And-
has the multi-user.
I agree.
And I
It's
think
terrible.
baseball would be okay to come
Yep.
up with one, and I don't know what to say about softball, they're a widow. They're a widow. I
Because
mean,
nobody's responding, right, or like,
it's just, yeah, I mean, they're like,
They do what they wanna
bored.
do.
Yeah,
they don't care, huh?
they start playing in July, August, and they're just playing, they have like, they don't give a rat's ass about what we're doing in here. And never
Well,
have. So we need to
Tell
find
how
out
you really feel
who
about
that is.
Yeah, I think it's
Well, no, I mean, I've
important.
been viewing this for 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, one of the first meetings I came to, the mayor discussed, like, I may not affect, like, the people riding the MU today, and this group,
Yeah,
what happens in like 5-10 years when they've all moved on? Like,
Yeah.
their kids are not playing kids softball anymore, not riding bikes, and they're just done. Like, how do we protect the vision of the founders that made it amazing and now let that fall apart, and not have people, I think it protects the projects.
Right.
well, that's why I like having a group identity and not a person. Like, it wasn't just Tom Coley, oh, I'm with
Right.
disc golf and
Right.
whatever. No, now they have an entity. So if he leaves, which he will at some point,
Sure.
it goes to someone else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So
I did
Christine-
bring up at the user group meeting the other night that we are going to institute, or the Parks Board would like to institute, hey, get on our schedule, or we're gonna throw you on the schedule, right? And so if you don't pick a meeting that you'd like to come to, we're gonna put you on there.
Do they know all about us? I mean, when we meet and such? Or
Well-
how to get hold of us?
So when we knock off the 5 user groups at coal miners, skate park doesn't really have a user group anymore. It's kind of been taken over by the city, so I don't know what to say about that. But if we could clean up, get individuals on that coal miners MOU, which soccer already has their own, get baseball to write their own, get Beartooth Trails, you're gonna have tennis and disc golf, then you got 5 people with clean MOUs up there. Perfect, right? Then, obviously, ICE is coming in, they're gonna have to do something new. I don't mean to leave any out, but we have a relatively new one a couple years ago with Whistler Observatory. So we're getting to a point where we're pretty cleaned up. Doesn't mean I'm probably forgetting several, but,
That one needs cleaned up too.
Which
That
one?
would be
Okay.
a lot easier to do it as everything else is also being done.
yeah.
Which one is that, Mayor?
Van Dyke.
Whistler,
Whistler.
the observatory has ownership construed and,
Yeah, it
yeah,
does.
it has several problems that need to be
It's got,
addressed.
yeah, it
Okay.
does.
So I think that's a great idea.
Who
Yeah, I
who is
think
the
for the
contact
moment-
now for this?
Roll
I
this.
think Jeremy Battles
Battles.
is
Jeremy
currently
Battles.
who.
Okay.
When we walked into that meeting, I guess this is totally my park stuff, but sort of is, Beth and I were like, mainly me, she was not quite sure this is where we want to go, but do we want to have like a template MOU? Because both user groups were like, well, what do you want? And part of me was like, this. I want to just be like, yeah, make it look like this, or do we not care?
Well,
Or do we have a MOU we like, we're like, well,
a
this
template
doesn't
would
got
be
yet, this is
fine,
our
but
template.
if we just had a list of the elements for them to cover,
Yeah.
the subjects for them to cover. Maybe that would be helpful.
Yeah, and she rattled them off to me, like, I'm like, what should go on it? She's like, bam, 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 I'm like, oh, that, I was like.
I think you
write
should
it
draft
down
a template.
And I think
know?
you guys, so you guys are also working on something right now that you're working with land use and planning, like here's the flow chart and stuff.
Yeah,
That MOU, these are the elements, is very much part of that
it
conversation.
certainly is, yeah.
And,
Luke, we
but
just
to
need to
that
have
point, it has
copy
to
and
be
we could knock it
flexible
off.
enough.
Yeah,
Has to be flexible enough to deal with
Yeah.
that they're, not every organization and park is the same.
Yeah.
I'll
Well,
take,
they
I'll
have
take
to
that on.
create the verbiage, right? Like,
They
if
have
we're
to
just
create
giving
the
them
verbiage.
recipes, then-
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, oh, yes, I know.
I think if Beth and I just come up with like the main hit list items, then we can also use our favorite MOU, and be like,
Just kind of
here's
put
the
it in.
items, it kind of look like this. There
Right,
you go, that'll be
like
good
first
enough.
paragraph, just describe your
I agree.
project.
You gotta
Yeah.
help them, you gotta help them with it.
So
I
you want
do too, or else they're gonna go off on
you two
the,
want to take
they won't have what we want, it'll be like
Yeah.
another meeting, we gotta like sort it out.
Yeah,
Luke, are you interested in heading that up?
Yeah, I'll work with Beth on that.
Okay.
I gotta admit, the disc golf MOU that came in, like, that thing was
Yeah.
like grammatically perfect. I was like, God, if I was nerding out on words, it's exactly what it's
Yeah.
like, wow, it's all centered and nice. So right now, that's my favorite of the two
Well,
I've seen.
copy that way.
well,
Yeah.
there's,
It's in a word format. too,
yeah,
so I can modify it.
there's things in there that the city needs to look at, like the liability.
I'm not
I mean-
talking about the
I haven't been
content.
able to look at it yet because I was always happy.
Yeah.
I printed it out.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
printed mine out. I do feel like this whole, some user groups are required to provide certificates of insurance and some don't, needs to be addressed,
And
Like-
number 3 is consistency across everything.
Yeah, exactly.
right? So honestly, I'm sure Beartooth Trails covers liability insurance. Should they be
Did it,
throwing it on the pump track?
well, did they list the city as an insured party?
I don't know.
I mean,
Oh, pump track,
that's what we need.
they don't have one yet.
Well,
Beartooth Trails just said, nah.
do they need a separate certificate of liability for the pump track, or is it covered under their general liability?
I think it would be.
I mean, it's a city asset now. That's what
Yeah,
they're gonna say. They're like, well, we built it for you and we'll maintain it, but it's like a trail in the city. We don't own it.
Are they gonna program
Or what do you mean?
it? Are they gonna hold events there?
No.
They're not gonna host events?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, it's,
No,
the pump track is like
then they probably
any
will
other
be-
trail in the city. It's just
Okay,
the same type of, here
Well,
it is.
disc
nice
golf's
and
gonna be
maintained.
hosting events.
yeah.
Yes, they're a little different, right? We're not gonna do like pump track competitions. I guess some organization could come to us and be like, hey, we wanna do a pump track
Or
comp,
come to the city.
or come to the city.
Yeah.
But yeah, that wasn't our vision. It was just to build
Well,
Yeah.
then,
city asset for Joe.
So
Okay.
when I make comments on the disc golf and send them out to you, I am going to put a little thing in that liability where they say city covers all the liability. I'm just gonna say, city council needs to weigh in on this, because that's not our gig.
No,
That's not
no.
our deal. Gotta go to you guys
And,
and your
and
attorney.
I think as I listened to that conversation, if it's a city facility, AKA swimming pool, skate park, blah, 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 that's city insurance. I think as soon as you go to an event, a pump track event, a frisbee tournament, a
agree.
soccer tournament,
Tennis tournament.
then you have an insurance policy for that event that lists the city as an insured
and
party.
that would be the event holder.
Yeah, that would be the
That may
event.
not be BTA, it may be somebody from outside the
Correct.
city.
Like, Nick's girlfriend Krista, when she runs those like running races,
Mhm.
she gets separate insurance that she's coordinated with like Red Lodge Mountain. I
Right.
will show up with this insurance, and it's beefy.
Yep.
And we require that,
It's
like.
like a bond.
Somebody,
It's like getting a
quite
bond.
frankly, if, like, let's take the tennis courts.
Yeah.
If they are going to, unless it's in the MOU that says they just notify you they don't pay for it, which is probably what those will end up looking like. The reason we do event permits is so that we can get proof of insurance.
Yeah.
Then we can validate that that's there.
Yeah, we had the same discussion with Jeff about the pickleball courts too,
Yeah.
you know?
So, here's the sentence, the city shall provide a policy of comprehensive liability insurance that covers Coal Miners Park, its users, and Red Lodge Disc Golf volunteers in the areas that the public uses for activities. I don't think that's gonna fly with the attorney. So I just think that needs,
Yeah, the
soccer and
content of that needs some
baseball
work, I agree.
is is an organized sport that's under like a, state organization, and they have a liability of insurance.
Yeah, the facilities are insured from a city
Yeah.
perspective, events are not.
No,
The people aren't, the players aren't, yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
So that just needs to be addressed. I don't know how to answer it. I'm just gonna put that, I'm gonna redline it and say it needs to be discussed at city level.
Yeah, the city's got to have
Council
liability
level.
insurance for their facilities.
Yeah, we do.
But again, not for the casual user of the facility, the drop-in user of that facility. City's not gonna insure them. But if they have an event, they have to.
And the reality is, the
insured
city
party.
does insure it, but they require us to get event insurance from the event holders too.
Yeah,
So it-
exactly.
So what happens if someone walks up there on Cole Myers Park, slips on the trail, falls down, breaks their leg, and sues the city and says, I was on park space and I need the city's
That
That
insurance?
would be covered.
That would be
Okay.
covered, that's city liability.
So it's events.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
events are,
They're
think-
different,
Yeah.
different
Yeah,
animals completely.
okay.
But the drop-in
So-
user is covered by,
So I will
City
make a note
liability
that
insurance.
events has to be addressed,
yeah.
because they are gonna have events there, right?
Yeah.
Come on
That-
in for this
That whole
Maybe
event.
golf tournament.
Event permits.
and that, to your point, that's kind of the MOU is this, the city provides insurance under their standard facility insurance. However, any events must have,
Right,
the event coordinator must provide insurance that lists the city as a covered
right.
party.
Soccer has to cover their players and their goals and things like that, their equipment. The land is the city.
The expansion of the disc golf course is no different than the building of the pump track. It's the same, it's a city facility. They're building it on our property, on the city property. City has ownership of it. Their city's liability insurance covers the city.
Well, don't say that, because then Coley and Melissa will say, in all fairness, we're just improving what's already there, why do we have to go through this?
Yeah.
So it is, it
Well,
is
no, that's-
different.
But they're going from 8
That's
to
different.
20,
That's
or
for
9 to
planning.
21.
Right.
That's an expansion.
Yeah.
Right.
I think, Roger.
Yeah.
That's why they're going
I
through
think
this.
Roger,
The
you-
pump
If they
track-
were just replacing their holes and putting in a new baskets and stuff,
Yeah.
they wouldn't be going through any of this.
Pump track was there, it was
We-
crap,
We
they
bulldozed
fixed
the
it.
old contract, built a new one,
Yep.
and we're upgrading the trails.
Yep.
Whereas they're also doing that, but they also want to expand to 18 holes and maybe A, B, and C.
Sure.
So I think it's appropriate the level we're taking their project.
Yeah.
Anyways, I didn't mean to totally
It-
derail it. So, other coal miner stuff, what do we have? Is there anything else that we haven't talked about tonight, coal miners? That's most of it. So basically, I guess between now and the next meeting, we're gonna get the email train going, and we're gonna try to actually work out our issues with that document via email. So we come into the next meeting, we've given them something to clean it
Yeah,
up, and they show up as like
right.
the new clean one.
So if you're good with it, I'll start it if you want, and then I'll just float it out to you guys, and,
Your
it
comments.
needs to have track sheet. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do it in Google
Yes, it
Docs.
can work.
It
No,
can-
what I would
so-
recommend is just everybody else who's, send their comments to one of you two that are on the editing team.
Yeah,
Yeah, we should meet for copies for that too,
okay,
because we can hammer out so many things
You guys
quickly, just
want
chit chatting.
to drink coffee.
we do.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I saw
A
you
lot
there
of
like
coffee.
3 times this week, so, with your notebook.
I know, I know,
And
right?
where,
Yeah, I
and
know.
you were
So,
there
so
too.
if you need to get a stocking, I can get you the paperwork you need to fill out,
Okay.
give to the judge if she's stalking you.
You got anything else?
Let's see, Airport Loop, I haven't run that one in forever, and McGillen Trail.
Okay.
I got nothing really important on those, except that at some point in the future, we need to replace the top and bottom signs for McGillen Trail.
Yep.
Because they're just in bad shape, I'm
Really
sure
bad
it's a waste of space right now. And there needs to be, I think, 3 road crossing signs for the Airport Loop, because it zigzags across that road that people just motor down, you know?
Who's responsible? Did BTA do that, or is that the city?
We want
Who
to,
does that?
I can ask.
Coley did them last.
Yeah, I know, and I asked Coley to do the McGillen Trail stuff, and he's too busy.
Okay.
Because if we want to make it like last time, it needs somebody who has like mapping skills that are
So,
fancy.
when we've talked about this before, Public Works had the ability, remember like a year ago, we were talking about it? Is this something we can bring up with Mike? 'Cause
Yeah,
you
as
have,
far as new signs, just say, we need these signs and done. We
yeah,
get it
so
taken care of.
why don't we just make them like a Wayfarer sign
That's-
and come right
Yeah,
out of,
Chamber of
exactly.
Commerce.
Yeah,
gal did or whatever, it's nothing.
No, I
Is
think-
it a wayfinding sign, or is it a?
Well, it's more, it's kind of almost like an informational
I
sign.
think we talked to
though, too.
Maples
It's
about
kind
it
of a
because city,
Trail sign too.
Yeah, the McGill Trail signs are a little more informative.
Yeah, the wayfaring is kind of directing you somewhere.
Which I think would be appropriate for like the crossing. I just don't want anybody to get hit, you know,
Yeah.
that trail zigzags across the highway,
That's just
right?
a diagonal sign with a person walking across the road, right? A standard.
So, whatever we wanna do. It could be, a city modded one that has our logo and, you know, it's mainly for, it's not necessarily for the pedestrians, it's obvious where they cross, it's for the
Yeah.
cars. So they know, hey, there's like a crossing right here.
trail
Well,
crossing.
there's not an official crossing like we have downtown, like a pedestrian crossing.
I can paint it, yeah.
Well, give it, pages of
We can do signs for starters. And that, because like I said, if we have those three signs, then if nothing else, we have to explain a little bit less why
So
there's a speed limit up there.
signage was a big deal kind of before you guys, maybe Sarah, maybe you were here, but during the Amy Hoy days, we were, remember Rod, we talked about signage, and we need to make a list of things that are needed, because there's still a little bit of heartburn about the city maybe taking a little more responsibility for posting up at soccer fields, so it isn't come off as a soccer club telling people to do things that wasn't approved by the city. You know, the dog thing. So they take heat when really it's a city ordinance, right? So we just need, I wonder if I
We
have.
need a sign meeting.
We need a sign.
We need to talk about signage, and then if you have in any of your parks the need for signs, we should.
I think we all should look at our individual parks and see.
Yeah,
what
do
we-
the-
Yeah, and make a
and
sign,
bring-
there
bring
you
it
go.
back and just say,
And
this
put
is
on our
what we-
agenda to talk signage.
Because didn't you already have one that was like getting signs, signs posted? That was kind of the next step after we get the names of everything.
Well, wasn't there
Yeah.
some discussion about having park identification signs all being the same, uniform? And wasn't there talk about that sometime?
You
And address-
said you need to come up with the signs, which will
Yeah.
include the uniform park identification signs, plus walkings or whatever signs is appropriate. You guys just come up with a
Future
request.
agenda items.
We've got the budget.
And the gal from the Chamber of Commerce, Shelley, is that, she reached out to
Sherry.
me.
Sherry Wheeler.
She just reached out to me, and it was like too late on this. She's like, oh, I'd love to design your signs. I did a lot of the signs around the city. Did she do all like the Red Lodge?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's part of the
Really
wayfinding
Yeah,
thing.
She's like.
So the
I'm
park
happy to do
identification
anything you want.
signs would be really nice if they're in that format template.
Certainly would be.
So I think we
Yeah.
can, who needs signs, where do we want them, general idea, we can go to her and,
And we have some
They're run wild.
consistency. Okay. let's-
So what
we'll
would
put
be
that
wrong
down for
with doing
future
like a
agenda.
Wayfarer type sign, so it looks like that, and it says pedestrian trail crossing, and it's put on Airport Road to show,
Because I think that's three of them. Pedestrian crossing, I think you sit with standard signs for that. But you guys come up with what your recommendation is, but I think the park identification signs would be wayfinding signs.
Yeah, I guess so.
McGill Trail.
okay.
But like this sign right here, the reality, that's a sign that's kind of already done, but the reality is, everybody needs to look at their individual parks and say, is the dog sign fine up there, does it cover it, you know, sort of a thing. And which ones do we
I like
need
it.
to, you know, we need to say,
Yeah.
pack it in, pack it out for trash, you know, what sort of things do we need to have at all of those parks?
What do we
I
think?
know you.
Next meeting could be packed.
We have, well, we don't have to do it next meeting,
Yeah.
but it should be a
January,
future
February.
agenda item. So let's move on.
Yep.
Field school, the only comment I've had from the public is somebody suggested we put stop signs on the corner of the skate park.
Some more
and
signs.
Stop signs, because everybody zips right through there, and the
Yeah,
Boys and
Boys
Girls
Stop.
Club is right there, and the skate park is right there.
Isn't that a four-way stop at that corner?
There's
The
one,
north.
stop,
No.
right by the Boys and Girls
You're talking the
Club.
Ace Hardware
I
side,
don't
there's
think there's
not,
Stop
Stop
signs,
sign.
no stop.
Not a
And
no,
you'll see cars ripping down there pretty
Which
fast.
Yeah, it was
Talking about
15
Tenth
mile an
Street,
hour.
I
And
think
I
there
thought
are,
that wasn't a
yeah,
bad
there
idea.
are,
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, we need
The
two
skate
more.
park gets a lot of use,
yeah, it does.
and it's 7 days a
We
week.
talked about this at Public Health and Safety Standing Committee,
That's
on how to
actually,
make that safer for kids.
that's
Yeah,
where
that would
should
be really good.
Now, I think about this a lot. You put a stop sign at 10, that means you've got a stop sign at 12th, 11th, where I live, 10th,
Big deal.
I'm not finished.
That's good, though.
And then at 9th, at 10th, 8th, you've got four stop signs in a row. That's odd to me, to have 4 stop signs, do. You start at Doug Brown Field all the way down to the Boys and Girls Club. All 4 of those intersections have a stop sign.
Why would there have
And
to
I
be
think
one
it's-
anymore at 11th, though? 11th is at the Doug Brown, right?
No, that's,
12th.
12, yeah.
Okay, so why does 11th need
Because
a
people
stop?
wheel around off Word to come to the post office and,
Oh,
it's.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of roads where depending on which road you're on, there's gonna be a stop sign at every corner. And it has one of two things. A, hopefully it slows people down in general. B, it may cause people to take a different route altogether, which is not a bad
Which
thing.
is what you want, but I'm just saying, I just look at that idea, there's 4 signs in a row, but we want people to stay on Oak and not by the kids. That's what we want to push them to the east somehow. So,
And then the only
well,
problem is
don't get me
the
started on
pagans
this
are
side
racetrack,
of
yeah.
town, 'cause this is bad over here, and
Well,
I've
this
seen
sounds
near
like
misses,
It's a.
'cause there's no
standing
stop
city.
sign.
yeah, we're talking
Should be
about
looking
it.
at
We're
that.
talking about it.
All right.
Okay, anything else for
And
us?
that's about it that I'm aware of. I haven't heard.
Mary Dale, you're
anything
gonna
else.
get your gate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are still some materials left from the tree planting, some fencing,
Yeah.
some zip ties, empty buckets that the trees were in. You know, some of that, maybe Public Works would like to collect.
Yeah, so it's Public Works doesn't have it, it's where?
No,
It's
it's up
right
by
by
the
the trees in the
observatory.
observatory.
Oh,
It's
okay,
what,
yeah.
it's what we were using when we
Need
planted
to
the
pick
trees.
up and clean up after.
Yeah, it's value, it's got some value. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
it's been great that no one's decided to steal it.
Good fencing, I've
Yeah.
looked at the fencing a couple times.
So that's all I have for Van Dyke. Would be nice to get signs, that, are,
How's the Rotary Park garbage can?
Yeah, it was, last time I went up there, it was taken care of,
Okay.
so.
anything
So-
for Rotary? No.
So I wanna go back to coal miners, I'm sorry, but,
Boy.
my one, so tennis,
It is a big park.
my one input is that it isn't just going to be a budget issue of what can happen with the underlaying soil in the footprint of their tennis courts. We cannot move that coal as part of a project without talking to DEQ.
We can't do anything without
No.
talking to DEQ.
So
up
the
there.
city would have to talk to the DEQ, and I know, and those helical piers are not, they're not a big deal.
I did my remodel, they're super awesome.
They're easy, they're awesome, you don't have to go down to like bedrock, I mean, it happens all through here, there's a lot of great classic examples of it.
Well, maybe that's the best option.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that it's out of their control.
Sure.
And so as long as everyone knows it, in case I'm not in on the conversation, I went through it, I know it well, you can't just move it. And what the high school did with taking stuff up there happened during COVID, and it shouldn't have happened. They did it without DEQ permission when they,
Tell me what they
the
did.
berm, at the
berm on
south end of the
south end
soccer
of the
field,
soccer field.
That wasn't there.
while we had an MOU to use that space for a second practice field, the city turned their head under James Coniglia, and that was allowed to happen, and I was told, do not contact the DEQ because this is a big, bad problem. And they created a landfill, and we're gonna just move on. But that is why the DEQ is still looking at, potentially, but that shouldn't happen. Shouldn't happen. And,
Noted.
okay.
Yep. Okay,
So we just need to know that that doesn't happen. You can't just move it. That was
Then we need to know
created.
what stage do we contact DEQ or they contact DEQ?
So it's actually Public Works that'll do that.
Okay.
And so, and I think it was just pointed out, this was some personality, it won't happen.
That will happen. But what the DEQ wants to know is that the material will be handled gingerly and appropriately during construction, so they'll need to know, even if it's left in place or lightly graded, that's not a big deal. Obviously, it needs some topsoil on top of it, but I think just so everyone knows, they can't come in and go, well, you know, we've decided we're gonna move it, and we got this place it can go.
I
I
know,
know.
even I know that
That's not gonna
Okay.
happen again. Mike is gonna be on top of it.
Yeah.
a big deal.
Okay.
And like I said, the good news is, the bad news is they come in and dictate exactly how you do it. The good news is they generally pay for it,
Yeah.
or most of it.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm hungry.
I
Yeah.
have
And hungry.
nothing on.
And talking in the third person.
One more
Meeting is adjourned.
This is close meeting stuff. I'm
Okay.
having a Christmas party fundraiser
Oh.
for Virtue Trails.
Oh,
And everyone in this room is invited.
okay.
It's gonna be on the,
tell anyone.
it's, yeah, it's, gonna be on the 12th of December, it's Friday, roughly 6 to 9.
Okay.
And I'll send out e-bike
You say
to
we,
everybody.
like, you mean you're like at your house?
At my house, yeah.
Cool.
I did not hit end meeting because I will never have the last thing on a recorded meeting. Now we're gonna talk about all the stuff that's not gonna be on camera. That is not where the meeting is going to end.
Where do you
Yeah, you just invited
You know,
everybody.
you go out 212 south of town, you go just past Leeches up that hill.
Yep.
I'm just a little bit past that on the right.
Okay,
You'll give us
Yeah.
direction.
okay.
And, yeah, I'll give you guys like an invite, it'll be